Good morning, everybody. It's Len from the Halfway Homestead. So we haven't been doing a lot for video content lately, as you've probably noticed if you've been following along, and those of you that have been with us for, I don't know, the last 2 years, we got started down this crazy path of self-reliance and self-ownership, first and foremost. Thank you for sticking with us this whole time and being so supportive and all the positive encouragement and so forth. We really love to hear from you guys. Gonna try something new to us. I've been tossing it around and beating myself up for a while now about how do I do this and how do I become more engaged with the audience and talk about, you know, the good and the bad of what we've done and our experiences. And realistically speaking, there just hasn't been time. You know, if you've been following along, you know that while we did leave the city 2 years ago to show up and buy some land in the country, I still work in the city. And so I went from an 8-minute commute to an hour and 40 plus minute commute, all depending on traffic. And you know, and I still put in more than full-time hours there. So Carissa has been the workhorse and just she's been the one getting it done for the last 2 years. Daily grind on the farm and on the homestead, trying to make the changes that we envisioned when we set out down this path. So that hasn't been easy. And what I wanted to start doing is capitalizing on this commute. And I'll have to apologize in advance. The video quality may not be the best. As you can see, I'm driving to work right now. And I drive a truck. Well, I currently drive the truck anyways. That's another story. And, you know, it's loud and the camera mount gets shaky and all that. So just bear with us as we try to figure all this out. But I have this time that I could be sitting here kind of talking through what's going on with us and what our plans are and things we've accomplished and so forth. And I figured, why not? That said, to give you an idea of the struggles that means, is I figured that out like 5 months ago that I have this time. And here we are with the first iteration of that, episode 1, if you will. So it's silly because you'd think, well, this is a no-brainer, right? Put the camera up, turn it on, and say what you gotta say. You know, we live in a world where that happens all the time now. You know, we're just inundated with people talking to themselves on camera. That was actually kind of my hang-up. That was my problem. It's like, okay, what am I going to say that is different or that's engaging and that people are going to care about? So we'll get into a little bit of that probably with the next video. I just kind of want to put this out there as what my intention is, and see if there's an interest in this sort of thing at all. My thought process is to try to do this a couple of days a week, maybe more, maybe less. It's going to kind of depend on engagement and feedback and what I think people are interested in, and if it's getting done what we're hoping to accomplish. So I guess let me get that out of the way. What is it we're hoping to accomplish? It's the same thing that we set out to do 2 years ago. We want to help folks open their eyes and go, there's another way to do things. That what we found is that as we keep talking to people, and as I mean, I'm not 20 years old anymore. When I first, you know, when I thought, man, getting a good job, making a good paycheck, buying all the things, that was important stuff. Here I am now, on the other side of 40, And what I realize is that most folks that I have known over the years are categorically disengaged, disenchanted with their lives. They don't like the job they have. They don't like their financial situation they're in. They, in some cases, don't really like the people they associate with. They associate with them for a variety of reasons, but they really don't enjoy it. And so our intention is that because we've noticed that, and because we have seen such just saturation of those emotions across the populace of people that we know over the years, is our intention is we wanted to prove that there's a different way to live, that you don't have to be stuck in the same thing you've been doing just because you've been doing it. Like, that's literally the most frustrating thing that I realized about myself, is that for years I was completely unhappy with my life, and yet I did nothing to change it. And so we set out down this path, and that's our goal going forward for this video series. So that's the feedback I'm looking for. Are you interested in seeing our, kind of taking back the curtain a little bit and going, this is what it takes, this is the struggle that we had in this space, and now we're trying to make these changes, or in some cases, this is a struggle that we had, and this is a change we made, and this is the result we had, good or bad. It's very likely some of those will be bad. We've made a lot of mistakes over the last 2 years. The difference being is that the mistakes we've made over the last 2 years, we've learned something from, made some adjustments, and now we do something else. Whereas the previous 20 years really didn't learn a lot from those mistakes, the things that we were unhappy with and so forth that were truly mistakes, and we just kept doing them. So that's the goal. If I can try to be more concise, is we want to try to help folks realize that there's another path, there's another way to live. And that doesn't mean being poverty stricken and giving up your white collar job and so forth. You can have that beautiful house into your cul-de-sac and have all your toys, but you can also do things that help protect yourself and give you some insulation from what's the best way to put this? One of my struggles when I talk about this stuff is not turning people off, because if you know me, you know I'm a very blunt person. I say things, I use words that are appropriate to describe things. I don't sugarcoat things. I don't try to make them sound better than what they are. In this content, sometimes I found that I have to, because I gotta break down the door a little bit slowly. My point is, there are things you can do to insulate yourself from the rest of the world in terms of how they impact your life. Small things. And those small things are little tiny seeds of liberty that you can put into your life. Like, for example, and I'm going to use this really very poignant and poignant's not the right word, obvious pun, if you will. Planting some herbs in your windowsill. Even in an apartment, on your porch, your deck. There's literally so many little tiny things like that once you do them, you're like, oh, so I planted rosemary and thyme, and I have some fresh basil, and I put some fresh basil on my eggs this morning, and oh my goodness, just transformed what I thought eggs could be. Wonder what else I could plant. All kinds of stuff like that. So we think no matter where you are in your life, no matter how successful or not successful financially and so forth, that there is space to grow in self-ownership and self-reliance. Okay? I'm not going to be one of those people that tell you you can be 100% self-reliant, and you should be. I'm not going to say that. You'll never hear me say that. And those that do are dishonest at worst and misled at best. The fact that I am talking to you via a camera, via radio waves, or however all this cell waves, and so forth, proves that I can't be 100% self-reliant, because I don't have technology to build that thing that I'm staring at. And I also don't own a salt mine. So I'm always going to have to buy or barter salt from somebody else, along with a million other things that I need. So I'm not suggesting that stick with us and you're going to be, eating, tree bark and crunchy granola for, sustainability. Okay? We want to encourage you guys to eat the most amazing food you've ever had. Actual food. Like, I know this sounds crazy, like when I say this, and real food. Food that you can enunciate all of the ingredients, because there's like 2, and they're words that you learn as a child. Like, what's in this chicken? Chicken. That's it. Nothing else. It's just chicken. Seems simple, right? Man, I can just tell you, if you eat just chicken, it's so good. It's crazy good. You don't even realize that you haven't actually been eating chicken until you've had real chicken. Just dumb things like that. It seems like so common sense. It isn't. So that's the goal. I know, I'm getting long-winded. Get used to that. I do a lot of that. Ask my wife. You know what I mean? So, I'm not the most eloquent person. I'm not the most well-educated person. Here's what I do know. I've lived a lot of years already. I'm hoping to live twice as many still to come. And I don't want to do it where I am reliant on so many outside forces to take care of me. Okay? And we'll get into more of that next time. So I hope you'll bear with me and you'll come on board. I'm going to try to keep these all to, less than 15 minutes or so. So they're small enough to watch easily. Feel free to leave some feedback down below. The idea is that these will go to YouTube and also onto Facebook for now. Check out the links below if you're checking out YouTube, or on our Support Us page on Facebook. On our Facebook page, there's a tab to Support Us. Check that out. You can use our Amazon affiliate link and to shop, which helps support us. Also, we have a Patreon account there that is, we're trying to get that going. So this is day 1 of our 2-year journey so far. Side thing for you YouTubers who've been following along this whole time. Our most popular video we've done has been our 1 year on the Homestead anniversary video, where we walked the whole property on our 1-year anniversary. We videotaped it and we talked about all the things that we have done in a single year, where we took this 9 acres on the side of a mountain and turned it into a homestead that was functioning with animals and food production. We are 2 weeks away from filming our 2-year anniversary. So that's been our most popular video. It breaks all the rules of YouTube. And so we are going to put out our second version of that, our 2-year anniversary, here coming soon. I'm looking forward to that. I hope you guys check it out. And let us know what you think. It's been a crazy ride for the last 2 years. So here we are. We're approaching 15 minutes. Guys, I love you guys. Thank you so much for all the support you've given us over the years. And I'm not bashful. We could use more of it. If you know someone who'd like to do this sort of thing, or just like to see some, you know, crazy duck farmer driving his pickup truck,